Various security forces, agencies and their mandate. 671. Central Forensic Institutions in India. Central Forensic Science Laboratory, CFSL, CBI. Directorate of Forensic Science Services, DFSS, Central Fingerprint Bureau, CFPB. National Investigation Agency, NIR. It is a federal agency established by the government to combat terror in India. It acts as the central counter-terrorism law enforcement agency. The agency is empowered to deal with terror-related crimes across states without special permission from the states. NIR was created after the 2008 Mumbai terror attacks as need for a RA central agency to combat terrorism was realized. A state government may request the central government to hand over the investigation of it to the NIR, provided the case has been cased or registered for the offences as contained in the schedule to the NIR Act. Central government can also order NIR to take over investigation of any scheduled offence anywhere in the India. Officers of the NIR have all powers, privileges and liabilities which the police officers have in connection with investigation of any offence. In year 2012, NIR with the assistance of Interpol and Saudi intelligence agencies has successfully arrested terrorists namely Abu Jundal, Fasiha Mohammed and Yasin Bharkal. In 2019, Amendment to NIR Act, 2008 empowered the investigating agency to probe terror attack, targeting Indians and Indian interest abroad. Narcotics Control Bureau, NCB. The Narcotics Control Bureau, NCB, is the chief law enforcement and intelligence agency of India responsible for fighting drug trafficking and the abuse of illegal substances. The Narcotics Control Bureau was created on the 17th of March 1988 to enable the full implementation of the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act, 1985 and fight its violation through the Prevention of Illicit Trafficking in Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act, 1988. The chief purpose of the Narcotics Control Bureau is to fight drug trafficking on an all-India level. It works in close cooperation with Customs and Central Excise, Income Tax, Indian Police Service, IPS, Central Bureau of Investigation, CBI, Central Economic Intelligence Bureau, CEIB, and other Indian intelligence and law enforcement agencies both at the national and states level. The NCB also provides resources and training to the personnel of India's law enforcement agencies in fighting drug trafficking. The NCB also monitors India's frontiers to track down points where smuggling activities take place with foreign traffickers. National Crime Records Bureau, NCRB. The National Crime Records Bureau, NCRB, is responsible for collecting and analyzing crime data as defined by the Indian Penal Code, IPC. I provides the investigating officers with the tools, technologies and information to facilitate faster and more accurate investigation of crime and detection of criminals. Following objectives were set for the NCRB to function as a clearinghouse of information on crime and criminals, including those operating at national and international levels, so as to assist the investigators and others in linking crimes to their perpetrators. To store, coordinate and disseminate information on interstate and international criminals from and to respective states, national investigating agencies, courts and prosecutors in India without having to refer to the police station records. To collect and process crime statistics at the national level. To receive from and supply data to penal and correctional agencies for their tasks of rehabilitation of criminals, their remand, parole, premature release etc. To coordinate, guide and assist the functioning of the State Crime Records Bureau. To evaluate, develop and modernize Crime Records Bureau to function as the national storehouse of fingerprint, records of convicted persons including records of foreign 672. General Studies, Mains Paper 3. Polnet. Modernization of police telecommunication in today's cyber world is the need of the hour. Ministry of Home Affairs with the help of Bell introduced POLNET, a satellite-based wide area network with an amalgamation of different latest VSAT technologies. It is presently implemented under Directorate of Coordination Police Wireless, DCPW, New Delhi. The POLNET project is funded by Government of India under the scheme of modernization of state police forces. It will be useful in fighting against Naxal terror and other insurgent groups. Central Bureau of Investigation, CBI. The CBI was established in 1941 as the special police establishment, tasked with domestic security. It was renamed the Central Bureau of Investigation on the 1st of April 1963. Its motto is industry, impartiality and integrity. The CBI is overseen by the Department of Personnel and Training of the Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions. The legal powers of investigation of the CBI are derived from the DSPB Act, 1946, which confers powers, duties, privileges and liabilities on the Delhi Special Police Establishment, CBI, and officers of the Union Territories. The central government may extend to any area, except Union Territories, the powers and jurisdiction of the CBI for investigation, subject to the consent of the government of the. Under the Act, the CBI can investigate only with concerned state notification by the central government. The CBI, being a central agency, may investigate offences against central government employees or concerning affairs of the central government and employees of central public sector undertakings and public sector banks. Cases involving the financial interests of the central government. Breaches of central laws enforceable by the Government of India, major fraud or embezzlement. Multi-state organized crime. Multi-agency or international cases. Directorate of Revenue Intelligence. Central Revenue Intelligence Bureau was set up in 1953 and was given the responsibility of developing intelligence on matters related with anti-smuggling and anti-corruption in the customs and central excise all over the country. However, this was a small organization to deal with such current issues. Hence, DRI was thus formed in 1957 as direct result of this, whose mandate was to collect intelligence about smuggling of contraband goods, narcotics etc. To analyze and disseminate such intelligence to field for action. Other agencies. National Security Council. It is the apex agency looking into the strategic security concerns of India. It is a three-nerad organization of the NSC, which comprises the Strategic Policy Group, National Security Advisory Board and a secretariat represents by JIC, Joint Intelligence Committee. Members of the NSC include, besides the NSA, National Security Advisor, and Deputy NSA, the Ministers of Defense, External Affairs, Home, Finance of the Government of India, Vice Chairman of Niti Aayog. National Security Advisor. NSA of India is a member of NSC, National Security Council, and the primary advisor to PM, Cabinet and NSE on internal and international security issues. In 2019, a new post of Deputy NSA was created to assist NSA and bring in greater inputs and coordination. National Intelligence Grid, NATGRID. NATGRID is an intelligence sharing network that collects data from the standalone databases of the various agencies and ministries of the Indian government. It is a counter-terrorism measure that collects and collates a host of information from government databases including tax and bank account. Various security forces, agencies and their mandate. 673. Details, credit card transactions, visa and immigration records and itineraries of rail and air travel. This combined data is made available to 11 central agencies including the RNAW, the National Investigation Agency, the CBI, the Directorate of Revenue Intelligence, the Intelligence Bureau, the Narcotics Control Bureau and the Enforcement Directorate. The Crime and Criminal Tracking Network and Systems, CCTNS. The Crime and Criminal Tracking Network and Systems, CCTNS, project aims at creating a comprehensive, integrated system, and a nationwide networked solution for connecting more than 15,000 police stations and nearly 6,000 higher offices in 28 states and 9 union territories of the country for sharing real-time crime and criminal information. National Counter-Terrorism Center, NCTC. NCTC is a proposed federal anti-terror agency to be created in India modeled on the National Counter-Terrorism Center of the USA. The proposal arose after the 2008 Mumbai attacks where several intelligence and operational failures revealed the need for a federal agency with real-time intelligence input, of actionable value specifically to counter terrorist acts against India. Unlike the American NCTC which deals only with strategic planning and integration of intelligence without any operational involvement or the Joint Terrorism Analysis Center, which too plays a purely coordinating role, the Indian version of NUTC will have not only intelligence functions, but also powers to conduct operations. It is this concentration of powers that has had the states objecting to the NCTC, arguing that such sweeping powers vested in a central agency will violate the autonomy of state governments, given that law and order is a state subject according to the Constitution. State Police. Each state and union territory of India has a Ratate police force, headed by the Commissioner of Police, State, or Director General of Police, DGP. The Police Act of 1861 established the fundamental principles of organization for police forces in India, and with minor modifications, continues in effect consequently. Although state-level police forces are separate and may differ in terms of the quality of equipment and resources, their patterns of organization and operation are markedly similar. Issues related to police. States would have to recruit more constables to fill the vacancies and in order to provide for expansion of the police forces. Recruitment must be transparent, objective and corruption-free. The central government has devised and recommended to the states a transparent recruitment procedure that will be totally chronology-based and free of any human interference. On its part, the central government has implemented the new procedure in the recruitment to the central paramilitary forces. There is no system of data storage, data sharing and accessing data. There is no system under which one police station can talk to another directly. Measures to improve the state of police. Realizing the gross deficiency in connectivity, the central government to implementing an umbrella scheme called Crime and Criminal Tracking Network System, CCTNS. The goals of the system is to facilitate collection, storage, retrieval, analysis, transfer and sharing of data and information at the police station and between the police station and the state headquarters and the central police organizations. More often, intelligence is provided by the citizen who wish to remain faceless and nameless. It is therefore important that state governments adopt community policing and establish a toll-free service under which a citizen can provide information or a complaint. It is the myriad bits of information flowing from different sources that, when shifted, analyzed, matched, correlated and pieced together, become a CNO cable intelligence. That function must be performed. First and foremost, at the police station there should be at least one police officer in each police station exclusively for intelligence gathering. 674. As the intelligence gathered flows up to the district special branch and state special branch, there should be an adequate number of well-trained analysts to analyze the intelligence and to draw the correct conclusions. Commando units must be raised and placed at different locations. A special anti-terrorist unit should be created at the state level to preempt terrorist activities and investigate terrorist crimes at the district and state levels. The police must also be the first responder in case of a militant or terrorist attack. 24/7 control rooms must be set up at the district and state levels. Police reforms. In 1996, Prakash Singh initiated a public interest litigation, PIL, in the Supreme Court of India, asking the court to investigate measures to reform the police forces across India to ensure the proper rule of law and improve security across India. The Supreme Court studied various reports of police reforms. Finally, in 2006, the bench ordered the state governments to implement several reforms in police force. These directives can be broadly divided into two categories. Those seeking to achieve functional autonomy for the police, and 1. Those seeking to enhance police accountability. Directive of Apex Court. Constitute a State Security Commission, SSC, to ensure that the state government does not exercise unwarranted influence or pressure on the police. Lay down broad policy guideline. Evaluate the performance of the state police on regular basis. General Studies, Mains Paper 3. Ensure that the DGP is appointed through merit-based transparent process and secure minimum tenure of 2 years. Ensure that other police officers on operational duties, including superintendents of police in charge of a district and station house officemen in charge of a police station, are also provided a minimum tenure of 2 years.